Hi, everyone, and welcome to Take a Pause with Menopause, where we will talk about the pause in all of her glory and not so glory. But the conversation will always be real, honest, and a little bit funny because we have to find humor in what is happening with us during this midlife time. So let's sit back, relax, grab some coffee, and get ready to laugh. And today I have my partners in menopause, Raquel and Debbie, with me again. Hello, my lovely co host.
Mhm.
And we are so happy to have Maya with us again, who is a nurse midwife in Sweden. As we said before, we're going global. If you remember, we talked with Maya in our Let's Talk About Sex series, part 1 and 2.
Yes.
And yeah, so we just wanted to say welcome, and we're so happy to be here and talking about body image and the inner critic during menopause, which she gets a little cranky. She's not real nice to you. So
A little cranky. That's
a
such
little cranky.
such a
So
very nice way to say that.
thank you. I try.
Thank you.
So welcome, Maya.
Thank you very much.
Good to see you again, Maya. I mean, it's
Yeah.
been just like a couple months. Well, no, not even that. A couple weeks.
Mhm.
I
You
know.
It
lose
seems
time
like
in menopause too. Did I
I
mention that?
Yeah.
yeah, the whole fog, the whole brain fog, like, where am I? Yeah.
Yeah. Who am I?
Am I here? Yeah.
I know it's so funny. I sent a text to a friend. We had a big event at the end of March, and it was the city of Reno gave us a proclamation for the work that we do with menopause. And in the middle of my invites, I was telling people like, you're a really big supporter for me when I couldn't even recognize myself. So I really appreciate you. And it was like that really hit home for me on like
Oh,
today's topic, right? Because I didn't even recognize myself, much less
Yeah.
them knowing me. So I
Mm.
would love to dive in and talk more about this.
Yes. And as what you see, because you deal with women and have patients and clients that you deal with. So we know we're global with this podcast, but we know it's a global um,
Issue.
issue
Mm.
with
Yeah.
women. So without further ado, Maya.
Yeah. Some of you said just before we started that the inner critic was not really a new thing that hit
Right.
um, or kind of invaded your life
Right.
during menopause, that you have always had it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It just really, really, really got accentuated or increased during
Hmm.
menopause.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
It's such an interesting thing. I wonder why, like in our psyche, like why do we want to beat ourselves up so
mm,
badly?
mm,
I don't know. I mean, for me, I think it was just like you feel like you are losing control in everything, right?
Oh.
yeah.
Like
Mhm.
you can't control your sleep. You can't control the weight gain. You can't do anything. You're sort of out of sorts, and then you super hyper focus on things that you think you can control, like your hair.
Mm,
And that's ill. Now it's getting thin and it doesn't look right. And why is
Mhm.
my hair so horrible? And why doesn't it look like it did when I was in my 20s? And it just goes on from there. And then, why don't
mm,
I look like myself in the jeans that,
mm,
and
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
a
or you
hideous.
can't button the jeans, or
mm,
you look in the mirror and
Right.
go, who am I?
mm,
And
Yeah.
then you see all these other women out there that are stunning and perfect. You see all the ads. And I think the
Mhm.
image of every time you look on social media with all the filters.
mm,
Hmm.
So there's way more
Mm.
filters now. So when you look, you're
Uh,
like, is that them? Is that not them?
is that AI
Is
generated?
that AI
mm,
Right.
generated?
mm,
But
Yeah.
it really
Right.
does, I think, affect it. It affects all women. I think, especially even the younger generation. I mean, even
Hmm.
though they're used to seeing it, I don't think we really ever know what somebody looks like if you're
mm.
only on social media. And I don't know, is there a difference? Like as we get older and when we go through all this hormone changes, is it in our psyche? Is it our hormones? Is it social? What makes women? I'm sure men too, but I
Yeah.
know for
Hmm.
women starting at a young age, even like you're as a teenager when you get your period, your
Yeah.
hormones start kicking in. But is there a way that we can talk to ourselves to help not be so critical? Because I
Mm.
know we're all more critical. People look at us and see totally a different version that we see,
Yeah.
and
And
I
think
don't
about
understand
work.
why.
like at work, I will, just kind of bringing it back to like the HR perspective, like human resources. I couldn't. I mean, I know Mayor had problems performing at work, but there were times where I just was so spun that like I couldn't get out of bed. So there
Mm,
was no reason for me to, I couldn't even work. So people are really losing their confidence at work, and because you have had so much control for so long, and I think
Mhm.
like you willpower yourself into so many situations because you're designed to just push through,
mm.
and when you push through and then you can't any longer, like the push through comes and pushes you back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really does.
Mhm.
It really does.
Mhm.
And I think that I do wonder if we would ever speak to a good friend the way we speak to
Uh,
ourselves.
See? No,
Never.
We
Not in a
never would
million
do
we
years.
that.
never would.
No.
No,
Not in a million years.
no, exactly. You
Mm-mm.
would never tell a friend like, "Oh, you look hideous in those jeans," or
Yeah.
like, "Oh, you're
Yeah.
fat."
Well, I don't know.
I would say that.
She would say it, and my boys, when
Uh,
they were teenagers, and I would like thinking I
uh-huh.
was, wait, I shouldn't be wearing a certain pair of jeans. They'd go, Mom, I just don't know whether you should leave the house like that. I'm like,
Yeah,
what? They're like, I think it's a little too young for you. I'm like, thank
yeah,
you.
Yeah, right.
Because but then at some point we do realize, I think as
mhm,
you age, certain outfits don't look good on you anymore. I mean, I
yeah,
think we need to be aware of some things in your closet. You're like, I wore that 20 years ago or 10 years ago or even 2
Mhm.
years ago. And
And
now I
that's
put
not
it
who you
on
are.
and I'm like,
No.
I look like a teeny bop. Like, what the
Yeah.
heck? So I think that, even clothes come in. So there's so many things that come into body image.
yeah,
There are.
yeah,
I always think like the style's gonna come back, so I save it.
It
yeah,
does come back, but then it
and
never
it
looks
does.
the same on us.
It never does. Oh my god, that is such a good point. I mean, like
That is
literally, it never looks the same on you.
Yeah.
well,
Like I like put it on. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be cute. And I'm like, oh my god,
no,
what
that's
am I
because
doing?
you're literally 10, 15 years older when the style
Yeah,
comes back.
yeah,
Our
yeah, we
I'm,
bodies
are.
do not, yeah, unless you're a
what I'm
pro
learning from
model.
this is I'm gonna just sweep through my closet this weekend.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
need to do that. Yes. Go through.
yeah. But
Yes.
what I mean is more that we can, because it's good to tell each other when things doesn't work at all, when we actually
Right.
look
Yeah.
bad in something. So I don't think
Right.
that is actually quite kind to tell someone like you actually don't look you look much better on this
Yeah.
the color or whatever it is. But sometimes the tone that we use to ourselves is something that we would never ever do to someone else. And I
Right.
think we need to remember that because sometimes we're much kinder to others. And
Mhm.
we shouldn't lose to be kind to others. I think there needs to be much more kindness in this world.
Yeah.
Um, but we
All the
need
way
to
around.
apply it. Yeah, we need to be kind to ourselves as well and understand, just like you're saying, that we are actually the age that we are, and we cannot expect our bodies to be the way we used to be because we're not. It's
Right.
just it's not
Yeah.
it's
It's not
not that I don't
physically
have the will.
possible.
It's not. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just we cannot do anything about it.
Well,
And
I think
willing yourself to do it is not going to work.
yeah.
Believe me, I've tried.
Right. Yeah.
Mhm.
But I think what you're like how you're saying it, Maya, like how you would say to a friend, it's not like a girlfriend that is thriving and is in the best part of her life where you're like, girl, hey, those jeans, no. It's you're struggling. So your friend is like struggling and
Yeah.
trying to find themselves. Like you would not say to somebody who doesn't feel good about herself or is like struggling to go to work to give a presentation,
Mm.
like, girl. No, you would be so kind and be like, you look great. You're fine. You're
You
doing,
can do this.
you
I
can
have
do this. So I
faith in
think
you.
like, yeah. So I think, like you said, there is a difference because, when you're with your girlfriends and you're having fun and thriving, it's different
Mm.
than when you're trying to survive and
Mm.
struggling and talking to yourself, I think would make world difference to talk to yourself like you would a friend at that time.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that making it a safe conversation too is so important. I
Hmm.
think like that is one thing I learned along the whole way is of my journey of perimenopause is just making a safe space. Safety in your nervous system goes
Yeah.
a long, long way.
Yeah.
Which I read somewhere, like your nervous system doesn't know the difference between like super stress or if you're being chased by a lion.
Yeah.
And I just don't want my nervous system to always feel like I'm being chased by a lion. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do feel like that sometimes.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Like, and you just don't know the difference, you know, like your internal systems don't know that difference. So I think finding safety in like yourself and your conversations with yourself, and that is a brilliant way to look at it, Maya, is like, would you have that conversation with your friend? I'm going to stop
Yeah.
myself from here on out and have that conversation with myself before
Well,
I start talking about myself.
Totally makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm kind of curious, why do you think women speak in these ways to themselves as they get further in their journey of perimenopause?
yeah, that's a very good question. And I'm not sure that this is something that they haven't done before. Um,
Yeah.
I think it gets worse because, like you're saying, there's so much that things that might have been working
Mm-hmm.
okay. You said that you lose control, and you lose control because you're not. Um, and a lot of times we're not in control anyways of things that we think that we are in
Yeah.
control. Life happens,
Yeah.
and we handle it.
So how does it trickle down to intimacy and relationships?
Yeah, that's also a really good question. I mean, if you, what I normally meet is that if you, because you don't have to be young and beautiful to be to ask these questions. You can be, I mean, you can be young and beautiful and still ask these questions, like
Mhm.
how
Mhm.
does my perception of myself actually affect me and my relationship with myself? Because
Yeah.
primarily whatever relationship you have, it primarily starts with you, with your
Yep.
relationship with yourself. And then how does that affect any other relationship with someone else? And if you're not comfortable, if you're trying to hide yourself in any meeting, if that would be, I don't like my sense, I don't like how my hair looks, I don't like how am I normal, am I not normal, all of that
Yeah.
affects you, and it trickles down to being able to relax, to be in the moment,
Mhm.
to enjoy whatever you're doing.
And
Or
what is tricky question too? Like, am I normal or am I not normal? Like, what do we
Yeah,
even
that
define that by? You know what I
I
mean?
know.
Like, what's the gauge? There's
When
no
you said that,
indicators.
yep. When you
Yeah.
said that, I was like, "That's it."
yeah.
Because, you're trying to grasp
Mm,
normalcy,
Right.
and you don't feel normal. You're
mm,
like, I remember I went to a provider when I was in perimenopause, didn't know it, nobody said it,
mm.
and I guess I should have known, maybe. I don't know.
How could you?
I know, but you went there and I was like, my skin on my legs hurt.
Mm,
Like
mm.
my muscle
Mm.
like hurt. And he was like, yeah, maybe try a macrobiotic diet. And I was like, eating cabbage is gonna help me feel normal.
I don't think you're gonna feel normal.
No, and I'm gonna tell you it's a lot of
Mm.
gas. So
And
I was
no,
I
you
was
do
trying
not.
that's what I was trying to say without saying it.
Yes. Oh yeah, I'll tell you,
I just
girl,
hung
you
out with
do.
it.
Ooh, no. No, that will take the normal
Out of
scale and just
normalcy.
put it right out there. No, not normal at all. But, you don't feel normal because 'cause you're like,
Mhm.
your stomach is not right, and then, try to find intimacy.
Oh, yeah, right? You clear the room. Nobody's getting intimate there.
You just need to be in the privacy of your own car. That's what
Yeah,
I say.
I'll be
There's
sleeping in
that
the car
rabbit
this
hole.
week.
We hit the rabbit hole.
We always hit the rabbit hole. It's like a speed bump.
Yeah. So for so I wanted to ask to our audience,
Uh,
what does your voice sound like when you talk to
Yeah.
yourself? Like
uh,
Yes.
seriously,
We wanna know.
is it supportive? Is it critical? Are you saying things like, I'm not enough? What you
Yeah.
may want to say, you know, I am enough. But it's so
mm,
hard, I think, for women and men to say I am enough.
mm,
I think
Mhm.
it takes a lot of work, and I don't know whether it's because of as a child, maybe you were always told you could do better, you
mm.
can do this, or relationships, or you've had rejection, or but I feel like even though all that's happened, if you surround yourself with the right people,
Mhm.
that will say to you, you know what, Deb, you are enough. Raquel, you look incredible today.
Mhm.
And Mary, you know what? You've been working really hard on this, and I'm really
Thank you.
proud of you.
Thank you.
I feel like we need to always be ready to find that something when you're with your friends. Look for something that you could say that's positive, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
truthful. I mean, it
Yeah.
could be, your hair is really shiny today, or I love your new hairstyle, or
Yeah. Yeah.
are those new glass frames? They look great
Yeah.
on you. But I think
Mhm.
it's those little tiny things that if we start saying that we notice about other people, hopefully we can look in the mirror and go, I don't look so bad today. I'm going to have a good
Mhm.
day, or my hair looks good today. I think those are, I'm hoping if you're listening that you're going to look in the mirror and say, I'm enough, and be
Yeah.
proud. And
Right.
you may have to say it a lot of times till you really believe it, but
Mhm.
surround yourself, with good people that are going to build you up and not tear you down. I think that's
Mm.
super important.
Yeah.
I
So,
hope that if you're listening, you show up for other people as much as they show up for you, because I think a lot of times we are so anxious to like talk about ourselves. We lose sight of other people. And so I think like for me, being a good friend includes like showing up and asking questions. And to Debbie's point, like even if I have a million things going on in my life, I'll stop and I'll be like, hey, you know what? I'm just checking on you.
she
Or
does that. Yeah.
or hey, you know what? This is great. Or even if I have the biggest story in the world that I want to tell and I can't wait to tell it, I let them talk about themselves first. And
Mhm.
I've worked on that a lot of years because it's just one of those things that I noticed as I kind of came up in the ranks of like aging, like people just never want to hear about anybody else's stuff. They just want to talk about themselves. So I thought, I'm going to reposition myself and I'm going to let them get it off their chest. And then I don't feel like I have less of a value in the conversation because I'm able to like, they've talked. Now it's my turn to talk.
Yeah.
Sometimes that doesn't work out though. I mean, people still want to just keep talking about themselves. So, but it's definitely true. Like I think being that good friend includes listening even when you have things that you want to talk about.
Mm.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Mm.
What is one shift that you think can help women move away from body shame and like get back into the intimacy world besides the cabbage?
Yeah, definitely the
No
cabbage.
cabbage. No
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 cabbage.
cabbage.
cabbage. Just
No cabbage.
or
Pineapple, maybe, but no cabbage.
I
I
can't.
swear to God, Debbie. I swear to God. I swear to
It's
God.
very
Um,
healthy. It's not
That's
So I've
pineapple.
heard.
Pineapple is very healthy for a woman. Just
yeah.
at a man.
We've been doing a lot of nutrition courses lately.
Okay. Um, I would say that because you've been saying that a lot of us, or I face this all the time that a lot of people have really struggled to say like I am enough, or I did this very well, or I am doing great. Um, I'm not sure if it means that it's a contradiction. Uh, Debbie, what are you laughing at?
We're keeping it real. There's just sometimes when I feel like we need to laugh at ourselves, and I do that a lot. Because sometimes, you have a thought in your mind and you have a memory and it comes back and you giggle. So maybe when you're feeling down on yourself, you kind of remember something funny.
I was just
Definitely.
choking on tea, so I'm sorry.
Oh, I saw. I was like, oh, she's muting herself because she's like, I knew you
Didn't
didn't
want to
do the
cough you
universal
guys
sign
out.
of choking, so you were okay.
Yes, I was breathing, just actively choking.
Yes. But yes, go
um,
ahead.
Sorry, go ahead, Maya.
sorry.
No,
Yeah.
no, no. No, but what I mean a lot of times is um, that I think that there's a concept that being good enough means, or that we're all striving to actually do better, be better. Um, but from my perspective, that is not a contradiction to that you're actually doing really great right now. So what I mean is that sometimes people really struggle to say like, oh, I'm doing this good, I'm doing a good job, or I'm being a good friend. Um, and I just want to point out that it's not a contradiction that we can still work on being a better
Hmm.
friend or
Hmm.
a more generous person or a kinder
Right.
person or whatever we want to improve. But we can also just kind of like take a pause,
Yeah.
like you always say,
Yeah.
Yes.
and just
Hold,
like be
please.
proud of what we're achieved, what we're in the process of doing, without being it a contradiction to that things might evolve, because things always evolve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are better friends and worse friends sometimes. I mean, so I see that a lot with my patients, that they kind of see that if I say that I'm good, then I think I'm fulfilled, that I don't need to work on this. And it's really not. It's kind of like you need to, like, there's no contradiction here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe that makes it a little bit easier for them to say that, no, I'm actually doing great.
So here's a question. How can you help your partners or your friend in the
Mm,
workplace when you hear them talking self negative
mm,
talk? How can you, I don't want to say stop, but
mm,
how can you gracefully come into conversation and say, you know what? I think, what do you say when you are hearing your friend's
mm,
self-negative talk and you're like, enough, like stop, because it gets
mm,
annoying because I do it to myself.
mm,
And I'm lucky that I have somebody who'll go like, Deb, what the heck? You
mm,
shouldn't, you're fine. But is there some way we can gracefully tell our friend, you're okay?
mm.
You're safe.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you can say, just like you said, Deb, like you can, like, I don't know how to say this to you, but from my perspective, you're doing great. I hear you saying X, Y, and Z, and
Yeah.
I see this.
Yeah.
So I
That's a
think
good
that
point.
acknowledging a little what you said before, Raquel, that to make them, that I'm listening to you, I hear what you're
Hmm.
saying. I just don't agree with it.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
don't need to agree with it. But with kindness, I think that we get a long way with kindness.
Yeah. Yeah. I read
Yeah.
something powerful not too long ago that said, like, pain likes to live in the dark. So if you bring it forward, you're bringing it to the light. And
Mm,
light, when you shine light on things, everything's better. In my
mm,
opinion, I'm also a fair weather person, full disclosure.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
No.
I honestly think it's true. Like,
mm,
we talk about a lot about traumas and things that have impacted us, but bringing those things from the darkness or the shame into the light, like to me, that is so powerful because it's like, yeah, I lived through that. Yeah,
mm,
I
Yeah.
came up from that. Yeah, I did that.
mm,
And I think that's something though too that women, and like Debbie said, maybe men too, but this is a podcast about women. So not to leave out the
I don't want
boys,
to,
but
we're not going
but
to leave them out
we're
now.
not
Come
gonna
No.
leave
on.
them out. But what I'm saying is, for everything is always kept quiet because of the shame built around it, right? You have, like we had spoken before, there's infertility. There's women. So now
Yes.
I don't want to say anything. All of my friends are getting pregnant and they're now asking, why am I not? And,
mm,
oh,
Hmm.
you don't want, so you keep it silent. You're in menopause, you don't know it, but you're silent there. It's you're a new mother and you're having trouble breastfeeding.
mm,
And who do you going to ask? Because
Mm-hmm.
everybody around you thrive doing it.
mm,
They're like, oh, I have no problem. So you put yourself in that little corner and you keep
Mm-hmm.
silence because you're embarrassed and obviously I'm not doing something. And it's always that like I would love for women, myself included, because I do always do this, but I'm working on it. I've been reading so many Mel Robbins books, like,
I
dear
Me
love
God,
too.
them.
she
Brene
keeps me on
Brown, you
point.
name it.
Yeah, she keeps me on point. But, like how to instead bring it to light. Like, don't put it in the corners. Like,
Yeah.
if you're having trouble breastfeeding, get it out there. Ask
mm,
everybody
Yes.
in the
In your
lunchroom
circle.
at work. There are so many women that they've had issues, and maybe they've had success, and they can help share with
mm,
you what it is. So that's usually like at work. I know we all do it, but I'll like say menopause, brain fog. I bring it, and then that allows women to say, "Oh, this is a safe place," and then they start. Well, I do have this, and they'll catch you in the hallway at work and ask the questions, and that's how I feel like everything should be for women because we're so prone to just take it, put it in the dark, and just keep it silent.
mm,
Yeah. Bring it to the light.
exactly.
Bring it
Yeah,
to the light, ladies.
yeah,
And
yeah,
men, anybody that's struggling with any kind of darkness, bring it to the light.
Mm,
yes.
yeah,
Just like
definitely.
Carol Ann, go to the light. I mean, you gotta do that, you know?
Yeah, I mean, and there's just such a freedom that comes with that. I was listening to Mel Robbins actually last night, and she was
We love
saying,
her.
oh God, I
Yeah,
love her. But she was saying, like, when you get to the end of your life, don't be that person that just sits there and like poo-poos your friends and is sitting in the dark and all quiet and like judging them because they're doing the things you want to do. Like
Mm,
you've always wanted to do that, but your friends are doing it and you're just sitting around like self-loathing the whole situation. Don't do that. Put yourself out there and do the same things because it's just as scary for them as it is going to be for you.
right.
And
They're
I don't
just
want to get
doing
to
it.
the end and
Yeah,
say, I wish I did because I don't want to have that regret. So
mm,
these are my
right.
good old days.
mm,
But I think here's something else that happens with our minds, with the self talk. We're in a room or we're at an event and we think a person is thinking something about us. And instead,
Yes.
or we think they said something or we're not sure. So we automatically go to, oh, she doesn't like me. Oh, I didn't do this. Or what did
Hmm.
I do wrong? And instead of going up and say,
Yeah,
are we cool? Did
Uh,
I say something wrong?
yeah.
Because I
right.
really feel like a lot of times we bring on that negative and we didn't even need
Hmm.
to. They weren't even thinking that, but we
yeah.
always go to that place of
Yeah,
what did I do? And we may
right.
have done nothing, but in our mind, and they may be thinking that of us.
Yeah.
I've had that happen where someone's like, "Did I do something to upset you?" I'm like, "No,
Hmm.
I adore you." She's like,
Right.
"Who? I'm glad I asked you because I was thinking that somebody said this," and I'm like,
Yeah,
"No, I don't know where that." But thank you. I said thank you for coming to
Mm,
me because I would hate that you thought that I was thinking that. So I really
Yeah.
think it's that honesty to
and
have those
perception.
and
Yeah.
perception and to
Yeah.
have
mhm,
those conversations. And I'm sure it's happened to all of us where we just assume somebody knew something or didn't know something. And I
Yeah,
think it's that open conversation. I think that will help us with our self-talk if we just are ready to be open about what we're thinking and don't
mm,
hide.
Yeah.
Like you said, come in the light, be honest, be open,
Yeah.
be
mm,
Yeah.
kind. So
And having like that freedom and that, the light shown on those things that, you're always hiding, it really brings you to the forefront. Like you're able to perform better. You're able to perform better in your work, your career, like all aspects of your life. Your communication with your children improves. Like, you can have better conversations with your partner, which I think that in itself goes into intimacy because that's a huge part of it from what you've taught us before.
yes, yes, yes. So true. You're absolutely right because intimacy that, was my aha moment
mm,
is, different hand in hand, but is different than sexuality and
mm,
the intimacy if you bring it out there and then because they don't know, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And with all fairness, I mean, my husband, if he heard half of the 10,000 comments that are in my head, he
mm,
would,
Same, same.
he would be exhausted by the end of the day, but he doesn't
mm,
know. So like you're acting like, "Oh, you're fine," but really you're like, "My back hurts, my leg hurts, my
mm,
shoulder I injured working out." And you just sort of have that
mm,
communication and then you feel supported because they're like, "Oh my god, what can I do?" You know what I mean? So,
Mhm,
yeah,
mhm.
I think that's spot on. Like Raquel like said, we did learn that from you that last too.
You look at that, you can teach an old dog new tricks.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Of course you can.
Yes. I know I'm learning a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that's the perspective that I have because I look at sexuality and sexual health and intimacy as from a very holistic point of view.
Mhm.
Um, so I see it as something much, much bigger than just sex, as a lot
Yeah.
of people kind of narrows it down.
Yeah,
Uh, and we know that studies really show that to have a fulfilling sex life, it's not really about the sex itself, it's really about the communication about it,
Yeah.
which is talking about it, like you said, Mare. um, but you can communicate in so many ways, and
Mhm.
not
right.
just by words, and we do communicate all the time in many ways, apart in adding to the words that we say by how we look at each other, how we
Yeah,
don't look at each other, how we prioritize the phone maybe rather than the partner or the conversation, or how we our mind drifts away, or how we there's so much we communicate.
yeah.
um
I'm bad at that. I will definitely be standing in a room and my husband will be talking and I won't hear 3/4 of what he says.
mm,
And I'm like, And then I think to myself, well, if I could just hear like the last couple bits, I can put the rest together.
Yeah,
No.
exactly.
No, you can't. I've tried it. It does not. It
No.
does not.
And then I get like, you didn't listen to me again. I'm like, "No."
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And that affects the relationship in a way because
It
we all want to
does.
be listened to. We all want to be seen. It's very much
Yes.
the
Yes.
I see you.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You've been talking about feeling safe, have a safe space, and you need to
Yeah.
have that
Yeah.
with
To have a
yourself.
deeper
And
connection almost.
yeah, definitely, definitely, because you
Mm-hmm.
lose it. You lose the connection.
Right.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And then if we have, the better communication and everything, when they do hear us
Mm,
and they do see us,
mm,
they hear us talk the negative talk, they'll be the ones to be like, you know, "You're you're fine. You look
mm,
great.
Yeah.
Please don't talk about yourself," and so it's like you need that. I saw an interview this years ago, and there was a woman that said, change is not done drastically.
mm.
It's a little whittle at a time.
Yeah,
And she was like, if you think of like all these like bottles on a
yeah,
conveyor belt and they're just turning before they put the cap on, it's just a little bit at a time. Before you get to that other side of the conveyor belt,
mm,
it's a complete switch. It's a complete change, but it's just a little bit at a time. And I think the communication, feeling seen, but also seeing your partner and making them feel seen also,
yeah,
you know,
definitely. Yeah.
that
So
is something.
so
Yeah.
speaking about seeing your partner and being seen. So a question for the listeners, but it's also for us to maybe ask for them. So do you think many people are protecting themselves from intimacy because they're afraid their partner might see their parts of themselves that they struggle to accept?
Mm. I would say my spontaneous would be yes, but I'm not sure that they're really hiding it from the partner, or rather more,
More than
uh,
themselves?
yeah, that you don't want to
Mm,
acknowledge. I mean,
yeah.
no one wants to acknowledge that I'm grumpy, or I can be selfish, or I can be mean, I can be jealous. No one wants. I mean, it's not nice to see those sides of yourself, or that I don't like, or my breasts are really abnormal because
Yeah.
Well, so yeah, so
for
I was
Right.
whatever.
talking I
Mm.
was talking more about your body image because as you go through menopause, you've
Yeah.
got the tummy thing, you got different issues, and I know there's women out there who
Mm,
want the lights off,
yeah.
because they're ashamed or they feel uncomfortable with their body. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish you can just go, yeah, this is who I am.
Mm,
And there's so many women who are so comfortable and
mm,
they love their bodies no matter. And thank you for being out there, you guys who do that,
mm,
because
Yes.
you show us that you are beautiful
mm,
inside and out. And I want women I want to get to that point where I
mm.
can say, this is who I am, and you like it or you don't like it. And I want
Yeah.
to feel sexy either way. But I
Mm.
do think that your body image affects how you are in the bedroom.
Of course
Yeah.
it does.
So
Obviously.
Yeah.
how do you get past that? How do you like accept yourself with flaws and all?
Mm. I think that one of the first things that you need to understand, or to learn, is that there's a lot of different types of bodies. We
Mm.
look very different, um, and we have like a norm that is very hard to
Mhm.
fulfill.
Yeah.
Even when you're 20 or 16 and your
Yes.
body is
Oh,
like super tight and your muscles, and you look
yes.
great,
Yeah.
uh, we
That's true
still,
too.
yeah, very few of us looks like models. And the models don't even look like they do in the magazines or in the videos because they
Right.
are also
Yeah, we're
Right.
on to you
so
guys. No, I'm just
yeah.
teasing.
So we're trying to like pursue something that is not, I mean, it's not fair for us to try to be what it's impossible for us to be that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that if we understand that we look different, you have actually ad campaigns. You have campaigns now that you have actually, at least here in Europe, that you can see models for
Mm.
underwear that are not all thin
Yes.
and super, super tall, and really you see a little bit of every or many different types of bodies in
Mhm.
these ads.
Yeah.
And that makes me really happy because you
Yeah.
see people with stretch marks, with a tummy, with
Scars with scars.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Stretch
see that. And
marks.
yeah, yes,
Yeah.
exactly. You see all of this. And then you're like, "Oh, maybe I'm normal. Maybe
Right.
I'm not the
Yeah,
only one on this entire planet." That if you think about it, statistically, you're probably not the only one with stretch marks.
Right.
most
But you
definitely.
kind of feel that way. Yeah, because you don't see it. We hide.
Yeah. And you do I have been wearing a two-piece for the last couple years because I
Very proud
decided
of her.
Yeah, thank you. Because I decided I don't care anymore. Like,
Good.
if you have babies, you know that stretch marks is probably a symptom of
Yeah.
having babies. And
Yes.
before I started wearing this two-piece, I thought everybody was just gonna be like, "Oh my god, look at her stretch marks."
Mm.
And what I've learned is people are like, "Oh my god, look at you, you're wearing that two-piece." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, totally." And I'm
Yeah.
totally comfortable in it now, but
Good.
it took some time. I think it's like public speaking, right? Like you can get
Yeah.
on that stage and you're gonna be a nervous wreck, but you have to keep taking those
Yeah.
first steps to do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You do have to. Yeah, exactly. Deb, this is the answer to your question. Like, how do we do that? By
You just step
exposing
out and
ourselves.
do it.
Just
Yeah.
do
Yeah,
Well,
it.
but
but
start with, I mean, we need to push our boundaries. I mean,
yeah.
start small. You
Yeah.
don't need to go and
Wear the
run.
two-piece.
I don't know. You don't need to go to a nudist beach if you don't want to.
Right.
No, 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 no,
Right.
no,
Right.
Not
no.
quite there yet.
Baby
Not yet.
steps, baby
But
steps.
Yeah.
but
Remember?
I have to
Yes.
say, Raquel, when she talks about that, I maybe it was 2 years ago when you started wearing you were like on the boat and they do a lot of boating. And
Yeah.
I'm like, look at her on social. She's like sitting on the boat and like,
Yeah.
look, I go, oh my gosh, look how sexy. She looks so beautiful. I'm like, I still
Thank
got
you.
I still have my, that tankini thing with the hiding my tummy and covering my bigger bottom. So, but I would love to get to the point. I wish we could all get to that point where we can
Same.
say,
Well,
I want to wear this today.
you're just going to wear it and not say about your bigger butt. Let's
Yeah.
say,
Hey,
there, Debbie, you look beautiful.
But we're gonna practice that because Mare's
We
coming
are
to
gonna
town,
practice.
and we're gonna
Okay.
we're gonna get her out and about, and we're gonna take her to the Carson City Hot Springs, and maybe I'll wear a
Bring your
different
two-piece,
bathing
girl.
suit.
Bring your
And,
two-pieces.
I don't
and there
have
we are.
one.
Well,
There we
maybe you
are.
should
We
get
are.
one.
We're gonna. Okay, so to recap,
Oh
we are
no!
going
Please
to
don't make us do
encourage
this
each
for
other,
real.
and and we won't post any pictures. We're not there
We
yet, but
promise
we
we're not.
will all be in two pieces at a hot springs, and we will not self negative talk about each other. We'll encourage each other, and then we'll have Maya back on, and we'll let you know how that went, and you will help us get out of the comfort zone. I mean, Debbie now says vagina.
Yeah.
I
You got
did.
her out of that.
Yes.
I
Yes.
even
You
said
got
it to
her
the
out of there.
doctor. I said it to my doctor, and he went, "What?" I go,
Deb,
"Yeah, I
See?
did.
Whoa.
I said
So,
it."
Yes.
This is like
I
a
feel super
self-growing.
excited.
Yeah, this is a self-growing podcast. So,
Yes.
okay, we have her saying the vagina.
We're like
We're
chia
gonna
pets. Just
be
put some water on us.
we're gonna yes, we're gonna be, not negative. And then when we get together again with you, Maya, we'll be like, okay, this is how it went. I didn't get out of the hot springs now.
I'd be running around it. Just don't even care.
We'll let you know.
We'll
Yes.
send you pictures. We'll text you.
But I think this is such a great conversation, and that's something that everybody, like the listeners, can just think about and just ask yourselves this, like the questions that Debbie was asking, like, why do I do it, and how can I not do it?
Mm.
It's
And
as simple as that.
and here's one more thing for me to end with my chatterbox Debbie thing. So at the end at the end of the day, intimacy isn't about perfection. It's about feeling safe enough to be seen and learning to see ourselves the same kindness we offer others. So
Yeah.
really it comes back to being seen and being kind.
Yes.
So out there listening, we see you. We love you.
Yep.
And if you want to message us and share your insecurities, your questions, we want you to know we see you and we are right there by your side and we are you.
Yeah.
So that's why we want to have these
Absolutely.
podcasts.
And there's
so
no
that you feel
judgment.
safe. No
No
judgment
judgment.
with us.
No
But we're here
judgment.
for you.
We
That
have
is so
heard some
true.
really incredible stories along our journey, and
Yeah.
it is incredible the amount of strength that comes from that, to like know that you're not alone and other people are experiencing the same types of things that you do, and the same things go through other people's minds that go through your mind. It really lessens that gap of feeling alone.
Yeah. And that's, what we like. We are not alone. And that I have learned so much from you, Maya. And I thank you because I
So
think
much.
you're an inspiration to women to for a woman. You are like the perfect person to speak to a woman to be like, hey, like, you're okay. This
Yeah.
is a normal, natural process, and you are beautiful within and out. So
Yeah.
I feel that you
Aw.
are beautiful from within and out. And kindness is everything. And I think that is something that we need to show more people, but we need to also show ourselves that too.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
That's a
Yes.
May
great way
I
to
add one thing?
close. Yes,
And you're
Yes.
nice.
Of
Just
please.
comment.
course.
Just that I'm thinking that because it comes down very much to courage,
Oh,
to kindness, but also to courage, and not only the courage to challenge ourselves, and but maybe challenge this friend that is saying these things about herself,
Hmm.
um, but also courage for us to listen to it, to our own words, and the courage also to stay in this uncomfortable feelings when I'm saying to myself that I look hideous in this bikini. I'm not allowed to use this bikini because oh my goodness, I have stretch marks or whatever it
yeah.
could be.
Uh-huh.
Um, Acknowledging that takes courage, but also to
Mm.
challenge it takes even more courage.
Hmm.
So
Yes.
a
Yes.
lot of times we just want to like speed through that and like
Right.
jump to the, but I'm never gonna wear a bikini. And this is just a solution. I hide.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And
Right.
this is a
Yes.
solution for it, and we just tuck it in, we silence it, we taboo it, we do not want to talk about it. It gets reflected in the relationship to ourselves, to someone
Yeah.
else. So I'm saying that we need courage to acknowledge that feeling, to stay in it. Like I
Hmm.
feel really uncomfortable showing my body to the world, to myself. Um,
Yeah.
so acknowledge that, but also acknowledge that it takes a lot of courage to step out of that,
Hmm.
to maybe go and get that bikini or whatever it could be.
Mhm.
Yes.
Mm. Now, it doesn't
So
need to be a bikini. It could be
no,
like
it can be whatever it
Raquel's.
could be. It doesn't matter. The thing
Right.
is that challenge yourself.
Yes.
Who
I
one
think
little
that's
baby
key.
step at a time. Maybe it's just a
Yeah,
Yeah.
bikini top,
yeah. It
then you wear
doesn't.
board
Ooh,
Yeah.
It
shorts.
really doesn't matter.
board shorts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I could do
Exactly.
board shorts.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
Just something. Just challenge, a
Well,
small
yeah.
challenge.
Yeah.
So we challenge each of you to do one thing that you're uncomfortable with and let us know.
Yeah.
We want to know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we will let you know also, Maya. And I wanted to say, since this
Mm.
podcast is on May 5th,
Ooh.
what is May 5th that you can help us celebrate with you?
The International Midwifery Day.
That is perfect.
Woohoo!
We celebrate you, girlfriend. And we thank you for being just the person that you are, the
Mm.
educator, and just helping us, yeah, see everything in a different way. So I
Also, we
appreciate
wanted
that.
to thank our sponsors. Bear, do you
Yes.
Yes.
have those?
Yep. We have our affiliate sponsors is Good Day Chocolate. We have Parlor Games and we have Isogenics, which is also, we thank them for all of their support. And we encourage you guys to check into that. It will be in the notes at the end of the podcast. Along with, you can continue to follow us on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts. So we find us and we will be there, and you can let us know how you're making it through the pause. Thank you, girls.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thanks.